Hey guys, it's the Pelbros here. Myself, James, and co-host with me.
Yo, what up, fool? It's your boy Ryan. Let's get into this.
Bringing you an Alvin Gentry review. So it's unfortunate, but we received news about a week ago. I guess bittersweet news of Alvin's dismissal, firing from the Pelicans organization as head coach. So he won't be there for next season, but that's coming off the back of some poor results in the bubble and from the season itself, not being able to make the playoffs. So we're coming here with a bit late to the news, but we just thought we'd kind of wrap up, I guess, a season review or career review of Alvin and his time at the Pelicans. Didn't kind of pan out how we wanted it to, but yeah, overall we're just going to look at some good things, some things that he brought that were positive to the franchise and the organization, and then obviously we're just going to go through probably some negatives and some cons.
Probably just start really feeding into it, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if anything, this video should be like that, but we're nice people because like we said, this is kind of bittersweet news, isn't it, man? Like, I still don't know how to feel about it. I'm a bit conflicted because, you know, our time as a Pelicans fan, you, me, even before the Pelbros started, I think all Pelicans fans can agree too, like the number one kind of mutual thing that links us all together is was our hatred for Gentry, right? Was us being like, fire Gentry every single day, every time you know, turn on the TV to watch the Pelicans. But the thing is that now that it's actually happened, it's like, you know, I don't know how to feel. It's like I feel empty almost, you know.
Yeah, it's almost anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
We've been saying fire Gentry for a few years now, and it finally, when it's happened, we don't know what to expect or what's going to happen, but
bring him back.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying that, but big off season for the organization and David Griffin to find a new coach. You know, he's got plenty of time to figure it out. I mean, shortened off season compared to most seasons, but you know, he said that he's already come out and said that he'll take his time. They'll take their time to make the decision. We won't go over the candidates or anything or who we like for the next coach in this video. We discussed that in episode 16 of our podcast. Check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, this is all about Alvin Gentry. We're gonna, I guess, celebrate as well as, I don't want to use the word mourn. That's too dark. Celebrate.
Let's say more. What is he going to say then?
Celebrate. Yeah, maybe celebrate and mourn his time here.
Reminisce.
Yes, reminisce. Mourn's a bit dark. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just get stuck into it. Some good things about Gentry. I definitely think that I think we agreed that he's a good guy.
100%. Yeah.
That's just the easy way to put it, and probably one of the nicer way to put it. Well respected around by both the players and the organization. We've heard plenty of good stuff come out from players who've played under him. AD, Zion, Drew, BI, Favors, you name it. Whether it's just sweet talk, it's all for the cameras, who knows? But they've all been positive. They've all responded well to him throughout this time. Drama free. He didn't really bring any beef or any kind of, I guess, real issue that made us want to kind of fire him. Zero dramas. There's something that you wanted to touch on that you saw on, I think, Twitter, was it?
Yeah. So basically, going off of that, not only was he cool with, I guess, the players and the team, I guess even the front office and that, but he was cool with even like the media team. I mean, okay, I don't like the media or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but you know, it just says he's a cool guy because all these media guys probably all like, fire Gentry, get rid of Gentry. I think you know, at least one or plenty of times throughout his time with the Pelicans. However, here he is after getting fired, taking him out to dinner. Hey boys, dinner on me. So I think that's quite for the boys. He's, as you can see, these pictures that we're spamming throughout this video right now, he's always got a smile on his face, and on top of that too, like, yeah, I mean, that's like, he's a chill guy, and even every time in those, like, I guess, post-game conferences or, you know, media kind of days, he always seems like what's the word? Like, he's not like a full, I guess, like a crazy guy, you know what I mean? He seems like a chill kind of like a grandpa type almost, right?
Yeah, I feel like he brought like quite a lot of level-headedness.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, level-headedness. Yeah.
He never kind of looked to criticize one person or call out a player, so you know, that kind of stuff might breed a bit of I guess disdain or a bit of beef, but he never seemed to do that. He kind of just took it on the chin, took all the questions that everyone kind of blasted to him, and just kind of answered it. Whether that's always a good thing, he kind of probably sat a bit neutral a lot of the times,
Yeah.
But we'll discuss a bit of that later. So
one thing I do want to add to that before I forget was I think there was a time last season, 2 seasons ago, when obviously James Harden or some shit was just getting like all these BS calls, and then AD was, just getting shat on. Like, he was not getting any calls or anything like that. And I think, remember that time, like, Gentry just exploded? I think he might have even got a tech or ejected or something. Like, he was just, like, standing up for the players. Did you remember that game?
I kind of remember what you're saying.
Yeah, and then he full had, like a media conference after. I'm not sure if I remember the exact game, but yeah, it was probably James Harden.
Yeah, it's probably a rare moment to see him kind of blow up like that, so...
Yeah, because usually he is a chill guy. But what I'm trying to say with that is that Alex is standing up for the players. So, like we're both kind of saying, the main kind of thing is that, he's all in all, we got no beef with him as a dude, as a person, as a guy, right? Like, he seems like a chill guy.
Yeah, and he definitely brought some great kind of family values, I guess, and bringing the team together.
That's what I said. Yeah,
and that probably is partially the reason for some of his success at the Pelicans, and namely we say it all the time, we bring it up all the time because it's the only kind of shining light for us. The 2018 playoffs, where the Pelicans finished 6th seed in that season, so very solid season with Drew and AD, Boogie, Rondo, and then sweeping the Blazers, the 3rd seed in the playoffs, going 4-0, stopping Damian Lillard, playing great offensively, just a well-rounded great season for us that we kind of celebrate every time, and we got to give credit to him. This is going to be his kind of shining light. His championship while he was at the Pelicans is this playoff series, and the series that potentially saved his career for 1 or 2 seasons. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, with that, talking about that, the main kind of thing is me, you, I don't think anyone in the Pelicans fan base, and no one definitely in the Portland fan base, thought that we were going to sweep them, right? So the fact that we swept them was amazing. That's crazy. The main thing I want to touch on here, though, is obviously the it's called the Gentry offense, right? That he runs. It's very fast paced, etc., right? With that, I want to say is that throughout the regular season, you have like a little kind of experiment of how it works, but in the playoffs, that's kind of like where it matters, right? So in that one series, we really got to see the Gentry offense actually, kind of work, right? Like, it actually was working, and it could have actually done some serious damage had potentially Boogie not got injured. You know what I mean? That's that. But obviously, shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever kind of stuff, right? But that's how I kind of see it. I just see it as that, as much as we want to kind of disrespect and talk shit about Gentry's coaching and everything like that, there was this one specific series right now where it showed that, oh shit, it could really, he might actually be onto something here with Gentry, that is. Yeah,
and credit to where it's due. With Boogie getting injured right before the playoffs against the, I believe it was the Rockets at the time, he was able to adjust and bring in Mirotic into the starting lineup, play that offense like you mentioned, and then also get his team to set up great defensive schemes on Damian Lillard, on CJ, and just take advantage of double teams and traps throughout the whole series that got us the winning and get in Damian Lillard's head.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we kind of want to, I guess this is more like almost like a silver lining. Maybe that's not the right word, but kind of just want to give Gentry the benefit of the doubt. That's a better word, right?
Yeah.
Because for the 5 seasons that he was here, he definitely wasn't given the greatest circumstance in order to find success. And number one point there is being injuries. So straight up, we've just been plagued with injuries. I don't know what's in the New Orleans water or some sort of curse on injuries. We've had guys dating back to guys like Eric Gordon, Tyreek, AD, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis with all his niggling injuries, Boogie Cousins, and then even this season, guys like Zion being injured. So not having a healthy team for him to kind of, I guess, show that he can coach or kind of find success. And because of that, he ended up getting accused or scapegoated for a lot of the team's failures.
Yeah, that's true. Because especially talking about, I guess, more recently right now with Zion's injury and that, and I guess with the entire limited minutes kind of situation in the bubble and when we were bringing him back on for his first few games, yeah, man, he was just everyone's just kind of shitting on Gentry, oh my god, what the hell, why doesn't Gentry put on Zion more, right? But the thing is that as much as, I somewhat agree with you to an extent, as much as there's that, the thing is that it's not necessarily Gentry's full decision here, right? the medical staff's decision. This is everyone. This is like the front office's decision, and on top of that, it's like a decision to kind of like not get too greedy and potentially fuck up this young man's career before it's even started. That's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, completely agreed. Some things are out of his control, and the organization going to be forward thinking. But results and bubble. The bubble speaks for itself, and the results speak for itself. 2-6 in the bubble is definitely not what we expected.
Yeah.
And then for the season, I think our record ended up being, I believe, 30 to 40 something or 30 something. So overall negative this season, and then a negative team record throughout his career at the Pelicans. So I guess getting into some of the negatives or the cons of his coaching and his career here. Only winning 175 games out of and 225 losses. So
perfect 400 total games.
43% win rate. Quite simply, it's just not good enough. I think we've been quote unquote developing and have a young core for about 5 seasons now.
Yeah, that's true. And then now a new young core.
Exactly, and I think the organization and the fans they're fed up, and they just want to see some wins. They just want to see a positive team record. So that's straight off the bat, I guess, the first con, and it's a pretty glaring one. He just hasn't been able to win games, and that's not to say that he hasn't had too bad of a career across other organizations. I think he was there with the Clippers for a bit, the Phoenix Suns as well.
Yeah, even the Warriors, I think.
Yeah, and they they didn't do too bad, but unfortunately just couldn't get the wins in the Pelicans in his 5 years here. And then that comes off the back of his coaching, and I feel like one big negative, or maybe not negative, but one.
Come on, mate, get on with it.
I don't know. I can't find my words right now, but one thing that really stood out from the bubble was just his the team's lack of defense. So just really poor team defense, one-on-one defense. You could argue that he doesn't have the guys that play great defense like Zion, Bi, but playing a fast offense but not being able to kind of get play defense and get stops.
What I was trying to say just there is that, mate, you're just sugarcoating it. Pretty much what we're trying to say is his defense was complete shit. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, not known for a defensive coach.
Yeah.
I completely agreed. He didn't do too great in that realm. So if David Griffin, if you're listening next season, look for a defensive coach, please.
Yeah, and going off of that same kind of thing, this guy did not understand the meaning of drawing up a play, right? Especially off of a timeout. And I think this is like a huge kind of thing in terms of the fact that at least for this season, we've been completely unclutch. I think there's a statistic. It's where in the clutch situations for this specific season, we went 5 for 23. I think it's even worse than that now, because that stat was maybe before the bubble. I think we had maybe like 4 or 5 times we fucked up in the bubble. So that stat could actually be 5-28, to be honest. And that's 28 losses.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There were a few games like the Jazz games that got to the clutch. And we just
don't bring this up, man. Don't bring this up.
Yeah, and I guess there's a few things that kind of sum up his season. One of them being, like what you said, but there was that little clip where we see Gentry calling that play in the timeout, and it kind of just shows JJ Redick's face, and he's just looking confused and befuddled about what the hell's going on. He's kind of just got this look like,
we'll try to get that video up and show it to you.
He knows this ain't gonna work. So that just sums up part of Gentry. We've been on clutch for years. We've been screaming at him for years. Just call a freaking play, whether it's a screen. In the end, it just comes down to an ISO ball, and we just can't get the win.
Yeah, true.
And then another con that I want to bring up, and this goes again to his coaching, is just really bad rotations that we've seen. I think particularly from this season, but in the past probably as well. But particularly this season, he's been criticized a lot for his rotations of players, specifically guys like Lonzo. So playing Lonzo like a full third quarter, and then having to sit him for almost 8 to 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, just because he's gassed him all of that third quarter. And then with the Zion thing, so like you mentioned, there was the minutes restriction during the bubble time. So obviously Zion only getting about 15 to 20 minutes, but then Gentry deciding to play 15 of those minutes, of 5 minutes of each of the first 3 quarters, and then not giving him any more time throughout the game. And us fans just all kind of pulling our hair out, being like, no, Zion's got to be in there somehow in at least the fourth. So just overall bad rotations that he needs to just, I guess, figure out, or maybe just maybe give it to someone else to do, because that's not his strong point.
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, is it? I mean, well, we're just going to keep on ripping on his coaching. I guess with that, there's a lack of intensity with him. I think you this is like your point though.
Yeah, I think for my mind, I don't think we've ever seen him, apart from that time that you mentioned, where he was kind of
standing up for the players.
Yeah, standing up for, I believe you said AD, and not getting foul calls. I don't think we've ever seen him intense on the sidelines, or even just get kind of ripping into your players, right? Like here and there when they're not playing well. And this is something I especially wanted to see in the bubble, where we were playing so poorly compared to what we know we can be, and just not being able to hold his players accountable. So, get into them, rip into the refs, rip into your team when they're playing on the court. You see so many coaches get very animated on the sidelines, and Gentry's just not one of them. Another little kind of clip I wanted to highlight was there was one time during the bubble where we were down, I think, to I can't remember what team it was. I think it was the Wizards, and we were playing really poorly.
Yeah.
And Nickel just gave over a really shit turnover. And you'd think that your coach would be furious and not too happy with how it's going. And after the turnover, it just pans to Gentry, and he's just sitting there clapping, sitting in his seat just clapping, and there's not the reaction you expected. But it kind of sums up how we felt this season about him. But yeah, I think that kind of goes over most of the cons for Gentry in his time here. Anything else that you wanted to bring up, Ryan?
I guess just the main thing is that, like, all in all, like, everyone, the fans have never really, I guess, like, really bought into him, I guess. But that's just the kind of thing. It's just like, over the years, me and you especially have had so much fun. I guess every time we put on a Pels game, messaging each other, bro, fire Gentry, bro, when are we going to fire Gentry? Shit like that, right? And it just comes back to the same kind of thing, man. And now it's actually happened. I really don't know how to feel anymore. Like, who are we supposed to blame now? What, Zion?
Yeah, we need a scapegoat. Just sign back Solomon Hill.
Solomon Hill, right? Yeah,
get him back to the team. But I completely agreed. I don't know. While we all respected him, we all knew he was a good guy. We didn't have personal beef with him. I don't think we ever. Yeah, none of us just really bought into him from an offensive. Especially from a defensive side. Yeah, I don't think anyone really, from a fan point, kind of embraced him as a coach. I think overall, from looking at social media as well, from the general fan base, it seems like most people are pretty happy with this. There was some Instagram posts that I'll quickly quote, where people were potentially thanking Gentry for his time here. And some of the comments would just be like, for what?
Oh, yeah.
And that really sums up his career and his time here, and I guess
that's actually a nice way to end his career. Like, yeah. I mean, what's it called? Summarize his career with us. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say, so for the very, very last time, I want to say it first if you're cool with that. Okay, I've got a speech prepared. I'm gonna throw it out now. Alvin Gentry, we had a great ride, man. Like, I got no beef with you as a person or whatever. You're a cool dude and shit. I'm sure if one day I see you, especially around New Orleans, let's go kick it. Let's get some chicken, fried chicken, that is. But my G, like, it's the end of the road, and this is the last time I can truly say it, And I've said it so many times and I didn't appreciate it, but now I can finally say it for one last time. I'm gonna put it to bed right now. All right, here goes. Fire Gentry.
Round of applause. I think that deserves a round of applause.
I loved you, man.
Wipe those fake tears away. Yeah, just for myself, quickly summarizing, I think you echoed most of it, but we've been saying this for a couple of seasons now. I really think that after the 2019 season, where the whole AD debacle happened and we didn't make the playoffs, very, very bad record. I think he should have gone then. I think that was his time, and that was the perfect timing. We're starting afresh. We had new players, a new team. It would have been a perfect time to bring in someone new, potentially a development coach. But we stuck with him for another year, and look where we're at. Not in the playoffs, and having to watch other
that's
teams.
One way to look at it. Yeah.
Hey, breaking JJ's record. Got to bring that up as well.
Oh no.
But yeah, my final thoughts are, it's about time. So thanks, Griff, for making that decision. Interestingly enough, just really quickly before we kind of sign out, David Griffin did say that irrespective of, whether he was just saying this for for the cameras, but he was saying that irrespective of whether we made the playoffs or not, this was something that was on the cards, or this is a decision that was probably going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So interesting to see him come out and say that. Just goes to show, mate, your time was up, straight up.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final thoughts before we kind of sign up?
Hey, don't you want to? Trust me, it feels good. You should say the FG line one last time.
Oh yeah.
Put it to rest, my man. Let it go. Let it go, my G.
All I have to say is, fire Gentry.
Oh hey. Yo, salute to you, salute to Gentry, and salute to the bright future of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, I was gonna say salute to a better time.
Yeah, better time, better coach, just anyone else. Come on, let's get it going, guys. All right, well, I guess that pretty much sums it up. If you guys like that shit, that is great. Like, comment, subscribe, hit us up. We also have, I think we mentioned it a bit earlier, we are usually running up Pelicans podcast for the #1 most underrated Pelicans podcast there is. Hit us up. We're on YouTube. We're on everything, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. You'll find us very easy. And most importantly, if you want to tell them, James, where to go.
Pelbros.com for everything. That all our channels in one spot. And then also hit us up via email, pelbrospodcast@gmail.com. Enquiries, feedback. But yeah, just if you want to chat basketball, feel free to hit us up in the DMs.
Yeah, at Pelbros, that is on Instagram, pretty much. Like that's the main. That's what I was trying to alley-oop to you, mate. I was trying to say, yo, like, okay, there's that's cool.
Sorry,
but,
I thought you already mentioned the Instagram.
Oh, my bad. Instagram.com/Pelbros or @Pelbros. Very easy peasy money. We've got the best content up in there. Like I said, most underrated content on YouTube, most underrated content on Instagram, most underrated content for Pelicans fans worldwide. So hit us up, baby. Yeah, let's sign out on that, I guess. It's an emotional. This has been an emotional episode. Emotional video, and I don't want to keep dragging it on. Just let it go.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We out.
Laters.